good job, and he didn't want to be. I know that some people were going to it. That's nice, that was last night, that's right. Yeah, how did that turn out? Pardon me? This was. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. So I thought that was doing. So the meeting was there a lot of people there? Yeah. A lot of different reasons, some of them. Is there anybody objecting? I guess that's the question. Let me rephrase that. I'm sorry, Gary. There was still people that were against this plan?
No.
The reasons you wanted it. Mr. Williams there?
That was her talking about.
What did he say?
You said it like that.
Oh, Williams liked it? Wow.
He took with Gary. He took a selfie with Gary.
Oh, did he take a selfie with you? Oh, my
Might have
goodness.
even- I think I might have even hugged him.
Did people go to the other side? What was it? What was it? The Star World, the dark side of it?
Yeah.
I know, something
Dark
else.
side.
The dark side, okay. Okay. Success. There wasn't that many people opposed, right? Wasn't many. Oh, look at that.
We gotta put that on TMZ.
Oh, my God. And you were smiling, but I didn't.
Oh.
Okay, so. Yeah, okay, we're really. Mike's on his way. Did I talk to him? He said he. Just gotta look for him. Probably didn't, yeah.
Hi, how far are you away?
Cause he told me, he said.
Oh, okay. All right.
He told me, he said,
All right.
"Jay,
See you later."
I said,
Okay,
"No, I don't
bye.
think at a special meeting." I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. I'm so glad. So Mike did a good presentation. It's good, they're supporting.
That's the only person I saw talking was you and not the mayor standing.
Okay.
We are.
Recording has started.
Right on time. 2:00. Yes.
We're ready, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, let's call for special meeting number 1. And call the rollers.
Chairman Einhauser,
Present.
Commissioner Davis,
Present.
Commissioner Garcia,
Present.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Present.
Commissioner Forte. Commissioner Coleman is excused but plans to join us. Vice Chair Blackman is absent. Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Before us an agenda for the special meeting. Karen?
Support.
And move that we approve the agenda, please.
Support.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, someone's coming in. Turn on my microphone. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Public comment. Is there any member of the?
Missed the item.
I missed an item. Oh, the minutes. We have the minutes of August the 3rd,
Move approval with any necessary,
2022. Does anybody remember what we talked about?
move approval with any necessary corrections.
All right, it's been moved and supported. Any requested changes or amendments to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Now, is there any member of the public that would like to address the board?
Mr. I'll read the public comment instructions.
All right,
To make a comment, if you are in person, please sign the sign-in sheet. Your name will be called and you can proceed to the microphone. If you are online, please raise your hand by using the raise hand icon on your desktop or mobile device. If you are calling into the meeting by phone, press *9 to raise your hand. If you are online or on the phone, after your name is called, IT will give permission to unmute. In order to begin speaking, you will have to unmute yourself. To do so, press the unmute button, which is the microphone icon if you're online, or *6 if you are calling in. As a reminder, you have a limit of 3 minutes to make your comment. There will be a timer indicating your remaining time. If you're online and make a comment, we kindly request you fill out the comment card link that's located in the chat. By filling out the card, we will have your contact information to follow up appropriately. If you're unable to click the link, please let us know and a phone number will be provided for you to call to provide the needed information. You will only be called upon once. Once the chair closes public comment, there will be no other comments from the public and all attendees will remain muted for the duration of the meeting. On-site comments will go first, followed by online and on the phone. Thank you for your attention.
thank you. Is there anyone in the room who would like to address the board? All right, I'm seeing none. Is there anyone online who would like to address the board?
Mr. Chair, there are no hands raised at this time.
All right, well then we'll close public comment and we'll move to item 6, items from commissioners. Are there any items from commissioners? Hearing none, let's go on to new business and the reason we're here today. Unfinished business, there's none. 2024-144, the DWSD Easy Pay Program. And Matthew Phillips. Good afternoon, Mr. Phillips.
Commissioners, good afternoon. I'd like to take everyone on a brief presentation of the Easy Pay program. And I'm going to start with a video link. So just give me 1 second to share the screen.
Matt, have you got Darius Bird's video that we could play after this?
I do not.
Okay. Brian will figure it out for us. It's only 1 minute long, but it is powerful. And I played it last night at the Charter Commission meeting.
All right, commissioners, if we could take a look at the screen.
The Detroit Water and Sewage Department introduces Easy Pay, the stress-free way to manage your past due balance and keep your water service uninterrupted. Enroll today with $10 down and spread your remaining balance over 36 months. No income requirements, it's interest-free, and it protects you from shutoff and penalties. Now, here's how it works. Enroll with $10 today, then pay your remaining balance in small, manageable monthly installments. For example, if you owe $1,240, you'll only need to pay around $34 per month over a span of 36 months, and that will be added to your current monthly bill. Now, with this example, that's about $120 per month with Easy Pay. Signing up is easy. Visit online at detroitmi.gov/easypaywater or call 313-267-8000 and say Easy Pay. Designed to help you manage your budget without worry. Take control of your water bill today with Easy Pay.
All right, commissioners, if I could walk you through a brief presentation on what you're voting on today. And so would like to introduce you to the Easy Pay program. So Easy Pay, why are we doing it? So since the pandemic began, DWSD currently has 186,000 accounts that are currently at least 60 days past due. So that's the current situation we're at today. The average residential customer owes $1,240. Now, while we do have the Lifeline program for low-income customers that I think you're all well aware of, the $18 a month program, we need a program for the rest of our customers that likely can pay, just haven't paid since the pandemic started due to the moratorium. Now that the moratoriums have all been lifted for water shutoffs, we are introducing Easy Pay, which is $10 down. So it's relatively simple. It replaces the 10-30-50 plan, which you'll all be voting on today to sunset that program. And frankly, wasn't that effective. We currently have less than 4,000 people that are on the 10-30-50 program. Again, 10-30-50 stands for 10%, 30%, and 50%. It's just unaffordable for most of our residents to be able to pay. And we know that because 90% of them fall off the 10-30-50 program within 90 days. We've done quite a bit of research and discovery across the country to find out what programs do work. And we've found in 12 other cities similar to Detroit, $10 down seems to be the sweet spot, and spread the payment out over 36 months. Seems to be a really good success story across the US. And so with 10-30-50, again, it was the 10%, 30%, 50%, and your payment was spread over 12 months. So as you can see, this program's a little bit different. Really unique thing about it, that's actually unique to Detroit as well, is that it's $10 the first month. So you don't even have to pay your regular monthly payment. You don't have to pay anything that's past due. All we ask you to pay is $10 down, and get you into the program. So it's a low down payment. There's no income restriction. So it doesn't matter whether you make $1 or $1 million a year, you can get on the program. No barriers to entry. Doesn't matter what type of an account you have, whether you're commercial, industrial, residential, faith-based, churches, nonprofits, everybody is eligible to get onto the program. So it's just like the name says, Easy Pay. It's easy to remember because anybody that asks you who's eligible for it, it's any account that's past due. Any questions so far? Okay. So just kind of recapping here. So again, any customer that has a past due balance can enroll in Easy Pay, which is $10 down. The remaining balance is spread out over 36 months. No income requirements. It's interest-free for the entire 36 months. And as long as you make your monthly payment, what we say is you're current on your bill, you're protected from shutoff. And again, for anybody that's going to ask, Easy Pay does not replace Lifeline. Lifeline is for those customers that are 200% or less of below the poverty level. So this is not for low-income customers. This is for everyone else that hasn't paid their bill. And the program starts effective today. So again, the example that I can use, month one, all you need is $10 down. As I've told everybody, go to your couch cushion, find your $10, put it down. That's all you need the first month. You can pay it over the phone. You can go to a DivDebt kiosk station. You can pay it on our customer service portal, so you can pay it online. So there's 3 different ways right now that you can make a payment. So again, no barriers to entry. The average customer, residential customer in Detroit owes $12.40. So what we're looking at over 36 months is a monthly easy pay payment of $34.17, coupled with your current monthly bill. So the average bill for a family of 3 in the city is $85. So all in, $119. A little bit of information and data on that 119. When we look at the 5 closest cities in size and scale to Detroit, so that's everything from Baltimore to Seattle to New Orleans, Pittsburgh, their average monthly bill without an installment plan as Easy Pay is between $125 and $190 a month. So still at $120, we feel that we came in well below what the average is for cities the same size as Detroit. So our goals for the Easy Pay program is to enroll 30,000 accounts in the next 12 months. As I announced earlier, the current 1030/50 program has less than 4,000 people in it. So we have a big goal to catch with this one. And we're looking at 70% compliance. So in 36 months from now, 70% of that 30,000 will complete the program, as compared to today, only 10%. And then we'll be looking at some other methods as we move forward in the future with some a third-party vendor that might be able to communicate with our customers more frequently on a monthly basis through text messaging and other types of social media to remind our customers of when their payment date is and that it's coming up, and then reward them with messages that they've paid their bill. And we've seen that across the US as well. 12 other cities that are using a similar program, and they've had great success with it. Any questions?
Any questions from commissioners? If a person moves during the 36 months, the bill follows them?
Absolutely, as well as Easy Pay.
Yeah, as well as Easy Pay,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Well, they'll have current payments at their new place, but
The payment plan will go with their
we'll
account.
go with them. Let's say they went to an apartment where they don't pay the water bill, then they've only got the 36, the Easy Pay, but
Then they
that
would
is
only
going to
have-
go with them.
That's right. They would only have the Easy Pay payment. Yep.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Mr. Chair, is a motion in order?
I believe so.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of item 2024-143.
It's been moved and supported. Any other discussions, comments, or questions?
Question. Just one question. So the $10, people will understand that it's just that is just the down payment for them to start in the program.
That is correct.
Okay.
That initiates the enrollment into the program.
And the amount will be determined on how much they owe.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Kinlock, can you read the motion that's on page 17?
Yes, I can. Thank you. All right, so here's there. Mr. Chair, I move upon recommendation of Matthew Phillips, Chief of Staff and Customer Service Operator, that the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department repeals the customer service policy titled Payment Plan Agreement and approves the customer service policy titled DWSD Easy Pay Payment Plan, and authorizes the director to take such other action as may be necessary to effectuate this policy.
Right. It's been previously moved and supported. Any other discussion? You know, and I'm sure Commissioner Forte would understand this coming from the banking world. I'm putting together a class on financial literacy aimed at teenagers. And what is the most common misperception that young people have when they're dealing with installment payments for the first time? The interest. They don't realize that if their payment is $200, especially now most car notes are 4 years, they're paying a $200 car note. The first payment they make is probably 85% interest and only 20% principal. And people need to understand that. What I really like about this as an installment plan is we aren't charging interest. Now, I don't know, are any of the other cities charging interest?
Not that I'm aware.
I mean, we could justify charging interest, I suppose, but the plan is to get the money in the door and not necessarily to make money on the fact that we've got this money out there. So I think it's a pretty good plan. And I guess the mayor's already announced it, so I don't know if we have much choice on the vote we're going to take. Anybody else? All right, on the motion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Thank you very much. No, I think it's a very, very good plan. Director's comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It took a lot for the staff, IT, our finance department, our CFO has been able to weigh in on this program. It's been a lot of debate. Matt's taken the lead on shepherding this policy through you. I urge you to read the complete policy if you haven't gotten it. When you do get it, it will be a living, breathing document. We already know that we want to make some changes to it. We want to ask you to allow us to exclude people that may have owe the city a lot of money or things of that nature. It'll be very few exceptions. So, but there'll be some amendments to the policy, but please read it. I didn't want to publicly talk about during the announcement what happens when someone misses a first payment, what happens when someone misses a second payment. I want to keep the focus on getting into the program and them being successful, but we have taken that into account and it is in the policy that you will be approving. It's very well thought out. That's number one. Number two, when I talked in front of city council, the first thing that came out of my mouth was the moratorium on shutoffs is over. Everybody in the city that wants to enjoy the benefits of not being shut off needs to get either into Lifeline or into Easy Pay. Now we have 100,000 residential citizens that are benefiting from Lifeline. We have 30,000.
I'm sorry.
We have 30,000 households that are in Lifeline right now, either in the plan or in the queue to be put into the plan. And that's about 3 people per household. So that's 100,000 residents. If we can get 30,000 into Easy Play, that's 200,000 of our citizens that are protected from shut off based on these 2 programs. And so what we said in all of the literature is we're losing 12% of our revenue, which totals about $48,000 a year. So we're more than $200,000 million. I'm sorry, you're right, Sam. That's big. That's a big number. Big mistake. 48 million a year, 200 million. It's really 280 million over the last 5 years since COVID. Now we had the collection rate at 93%. It's not really 12. It's only 12 because the state and the federal government have been paying the bills for the people in Lifeline. So we've been getting tens of millions of dollars to pay the bills in Lifeline. If we weren't getting that money, we'd probably be closer to 24%. So I have to run this organization as if that money will run out. There's no permanent source of funding for that. And we have to, I spoke a long time yesterday about the fact that this board and under the mayor's leadership, we have kept rates down below 3% for the last 9 years. Now, you know, inflation is probably 6.5%, 7% right now. We've kept rates below. 10 years prior to that, rates were double digits. some years as high as 18%. So we're keeping the rates low. We're spending more than $1 billion investing in rebuilding the system. And if we are going to continue to do that, we have to get our collection rate up to the national average or close to it. We cannot allow people that can afford to pay not to pay. And right now, there's been no consequence since COVID. And this $10 payment is more about getting people to go to the DivDat machine, go to the portal and start paying. We got to get you back on track. We got to get you back on track. So everybody that needs the help, Lifeline is still active. It's available. It doesn't go away. We have enough money to get through another year. But there's no permanent funding source. Right now, we're working really hard in Lansing. Deb Poshpiece has put many hours into writing the legislation for Senator Chang that would produce long-term funding, but it hasn't been approved yet. I'm in Washington, if not monthly, every other month, pushing LIWAP, permanent source of funding, but we haven't gotten it across the finish line yet. And so I want to make sure that rates, we're able to keep rates at low, and it's just not fair for one resident to be paying and the next door neighbor not paying when you can afford to pay. That's what we're looking at right now. How do we get people back on track to paying the bill? So the moratorium is over. Yeah, I expected pushback at City Council this morning. I didn't get any from anybody at that table. They asked good questions, but no pushback. They understand that we can't go 24% of our income not coming in and be able to maintain rates below 3%. And I'm telling you now that GLEWA, I sit on the board, the 10-year time period in which they could keep rates at 4% or less, the 10 years is up. And this year they're going to push very hard to increase the rates above 4%. And so, and in all honesty, they are not all unjustified in doing so because of utility costs, chemical costs. To run the business, it is costing more based on inflation. We're not going to let them do that on the backs of our customers, but at the same time, we've got to be responsible in running this business to be able to collect what we're billing, at least something close to the national average. And we've proven that we can do it. We've proven that we can do it. So I'll end there, and I said this last night, I'll end with this, that Lifeline around the country, basically they say that, and even the legislation that Yang has written says that the amount a person should pay out of their monthly paycheck is 3%. Shouldn't pay any more than 3% of your household income. That's what the legislation for the Senator Chang is producing. And I'll tell you this, I was against that. I said it should be 1.8, and it was the advocates. It was we the people that raised it to 8%, to 3%, which would double the $18 bill to 36. We believe that if our customers pay more than 1.8% of their household income on their water bill, that's a burden. They won't be able to buy food. They won't be able to pay rent. They won't have dollars for other essentials. So our plan is based on 1.8%, not 3 or 2 or anything higher. It is probably the most generous, compassionate affordability plan because you're paying based on what you can afford, 1.8% of your income. This is a great plan. So there's no reason why anyone should see a service interruption as long as they just ask for help. We're providing the help. And I'll leave it there. But this is a good program. And again, you'll see the written policy, if you haven't gotten it already, very shortly. And it's been well thought out. And that's giving credit to the legal team, to the finance team, to Sam and Matt and the whole Brian, everybody that's been fighting each other over how are we going to make this work? Because you know what's happening with our customer service center. When I publicly announced, this has been on every news station. Last night, it's on every radio station. It's going to be on billboards. I'm going to be doing editorial boards. We have commercials going out. And we've already got 300 people
Oh.
in Lifeline. And we had, I think, 250 of them before I even finished the press conference yesterday.
Mr.
it'll be
Urquidez,
very
just want
popular.
to note that we have the policy and have been able to
Okay.
review the policy.
Okay,
Yep, yep.
Yeah, Commissioner Forte?
Yeah, just a couple of comments. You know, the reason it was passed without comment at city council is, Gary, you have framed this and communicated this extremely well. And let me just say, our media star, Matt Phillips, has also framed it well in the public view and on television. It is time, and I want to just speak a little bit about timing. We don't do this program now in today's economy with for and focused on people who can afford to pay, we're going to be behind. And we cannot afford to not be able to collect 40 some odd $1 million a year. Or those that are paying are going to be facing tremendous rate increases. And that's the future that I see. And that's why this program is compelling. The timing is now. And there should be, I mean, it passed unanimously here. Council, no questions, an endorsement by the advocates. It is time, and the timing, you know, let's hope timing still works on our side. But moratoriums, you know, maybe I've been around here long enough to see when we had a 90-some% collection rate. To have the collection rate that we have now is simply due to the fact that those who can afford to pay have said, my water won't get turned off. I've got other priorities.
Yes, Commissioner Garcia.
Yes, first of all, I want to thank all the staff and you, Gary. You've come up with a solution. It may not, you know, answer all the issues, but it's going to answer a whole lot of them. And I think that you and your staff to come up with a solution is wonderful for the city and the residents. And it's going to be available not only to the residents, but to everybody. That means businesses that maybe have fallen behind. I don't, you know, and there's a lot of businesses, especially after the pandemic, that were really struggling. And so I want to thank all of you because I think this is the first thing I've seen in a long time besides the Lifeline that I think has really helped a lot of people. I think that I can't begin to tell you that this is my last year with y'all. I think this is wonderful. You know, I think it's great. You know, you never know what's going to happen, but I'm just saying, I'm just overwhelmed with the fact that the businesses will be also able to take advantage of this. And I think that we need to get the word out so that people can actually, because I don't know how many people you actually think residents in that will be eligible, but I'm sure there's a lot of people are going to take advantage of it.
We know that we have 60,000 accounts that
Wow.
are more than 60 days past due. We know that. Residential account,
Okay.
60,000.
Wow.
So I anticipate we'll get 30,000 registered. And once the shutoffs start being advertised, you'll start seeing people just come in and they'll just start paying up and getting their accounts. And what we've seen around the country is people are actually going to pay more than their plan because they're going to see a path to get out from under this debt. And we've been told in Philadelphia, they raised $10 million, you know, within the first 45 days.
That's funny. You mentioned people paying more because when I'm explaining, especially to teenagers, how that car note works, what is the magic of making a 13th payment every year? You're going to cut the size of your time paying almost by half. And people don't realize that. Just make a 13th payment. I can't afford a third. No, take your regular payment, divide it by 12 and round up your current payment. You're going to cut your 4 years to 2.5. Anyways, Commissioner Kinlock.
This, just wanted to say that, Gary, and many of you all who were here before me, know that this is, an incredible feat that we're doing right now. It's just a complete turnaround. When I first came on, people were packing the meetings, angry, and demanding for water affordability, demanding that this department, respond, to the needs of the community. And I'm gonna just tell you, since I've been on this board, you all have absolutely shown yourself, Gary, under your leadership and the team, have made it a number one priority to get to a solution of this whole thought and conversation around water affordability. So and we cannot forget where we came from. I know it was a lot of pressure coming into the meetings and the folks very upset. And then now to see that the community and the people who had our head in a slinger are now working side by side with us trying to find a solution. So I'm just saying, so you all have, I'm just saying, hats off. And I think that there's not too many departments that you can even, I mean, I go back years, you know, and that you could see that went from where we were to, you know, where we are now as far as national coverage and how you all turned this around. So thank you. Yeah.
No, thank you for saying it.
All right, any other comments? Final observation I want to make relating to GLEWA and the fact that we're through the 10-year period. We have common cause with what? 20 suburban communities? And I know we have 2 people on the GLEWA board, and rates is one of those items that require a
5 out of 6.
supermajority. But we don't have to put it all on the Detroit people's shoulders. We should be reaching out
We have.
to the 20-some other suburban communities that are going to get the same rate increase and reminding them that they have representatives on the GLEWA board and they should be talking to them. And affordability is not as big an issue in many communities. Maybe it's not as big of an issue in any communities than Detroit, but it's still an issue. I was at an event and I ended up sitting next to the treasurer of Clinton Township. And I asked him, you know, what are you doing about, do you do shut-offs? And he just said, no, we don't shut people off. We wait 5 years and slap it on their property taxes. And, you know, he was clearly feeling no urgency about whatever bad debts he had. We have the urgency, and I think we should be reaching out to Clinton Township and everybody else who's going to be paying the wholesale rates that GLEWA establishes and remind them that they have representatives on that board as well, and that they should consider affordability. Yes, GLEWA has to pay the bills, but they should consider affordability as well. All right, any other comments?
We 1 minute for this video. This is powerful. I'll let Darius tell his story. I won't tell it.
I love everything about my job. Supplying customers with new fresh water, changing out pipes. I like to work. My name is Darius Bird. I work for Detroit Water and Sewage. I'm 26. I'm an example of a person who takes every opportunity and makes the best of it. I took part in Skills for Life through the city of Detroit. I really wanted to make a transition, and I just wanted to level up and start to get my life really started. I went to Skills for Life to get a job and earn a skill at the same time. And this guaranteed job is no losing, it's only a win. Definitely, it's changed my life. I got my first house. I bought a property with the land bank. I worked 7 days a week all summer, saved up my money. I'm grateful. It ain't no feeling like it, you know. It's just, it feels good. Someday, I want to use the skills that I learned from the Skills for Life and my current job to own my own business. I am the future of Detroit.
That's a great story for all of Detroit. He went through Skills for Life. He didn't have a job. And then he took a job with the General Services Department working in the parks during the summer. And when the summer ended, he his job was over, so he applied to DWSD as a field service tech. And he's worked his way up to where he's now working on lead service line replacements. And as you see, he bought a house in Detroit from the land bank and is inviting everybody over when he gets it completed for a barbecue. So, I mean, it's a great story in that it's more than just rebuilding the system, but it's using Detroiters, creating opportunity for Detroiters. And I say this all the time, there's nothing that will pull people out of poverty other than a job. I mean, you got to have a job in order to get yourself out of poverty. And he's taken advantage of all the opportunities that all of Detroit has to offer. So he really should be the poster child, not for DWSD, but for the city of Detroit and all the opportunity that's being created for Detroiters. So one day we'll bring him into a meeting and introduce him.
Any other comments, Mr. Director?
None for me, thank you.
Comments by commissioners? None? I don't have a comment. I have a question. Are we doing a job fair this week?
Not that I know of.
No, okay. I'd like to know the next time we do one, because I get hit up all the time. And
yeah.
Best thing to do is direct them to the job fair.
You and me both.
Yeah, okay. Then are there any other matters to come before the Board of Commissioners today? All right. Hearing none, a motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved?
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And we stand adjourned. Thank you all very much for coming in for the special meeting.
Much
It's good
appreciated.
work.